All right, fastest 15 minutes on the internet and on social media. My name is Judson Powell. Been off for a couple of days, but look, I want to talk to you about your plan. And I know that a lot of people, they've been, I guess what my whole thing is that the plan. What is the plan? The plan, because we got all different kinds of groups and all different kinds of people and, basically struggling. And, but we need to talk about the plan because, of course, if you don't have a plan, somebody has a plan for you. So, what is the plan that they have for you? All right. Right now, the plan is, of course, number one, homosexuality. Right. The major plan. Number two, emasculation. Well, it's always been, but the emasculation of the black man. The Me Too movement is not really about what you think it's about. It's not really about trying to protect women or, from sexual assault and all that. That's not what it's about. It's about being able to go after people and be able to, so that they won't go after you. All right. What is the major goal of these two things? Homosexuality, Me Too movement is what? Is to make sure that you depopulate. Because if you're a homosexual, or if you are afraid to approach women, or if you think that you're going to approach women, then you can't populate, you can't procreate. All right. Next one in the agenda is your boy Kanye. All right, because they've done all this research. They're finding out that Africans and descendants of Africans, black folks, African Americans, whatever y'all want to call yourselves today, guess what? You are leaving the church, and they can't have that because that's part of the white supremacist agenda. The church is part of the white supremacist agenda. If you leave the church, then guess what? You won't follow what they want, and so you have to, because you have this, the church inferiority complex. And without the church inferiority complex, then you will wake up one day and you will realize that you are a manifester and that you are God, right? Generator, operator, destroyer. You will realize that you are a God, right? And they don't want you to realize that, because as soon as you realize that, and as soon as you wake up and your eyes are open, your third eye is open, and they realize what all the ancients realized was that you can talk to God, or that you can talk to the unseen God. All right. Not not yourself, but you can talk to the unseen God. So all of these things, it's an agenda. Basically, it's an agenda to try to get you, number one, to depopulate, number two, to lose your power. All right. And all of the things that are included in spirit. Look, in spirituality, and I have to keep on reiterating this, it is not a religion. It is not, all of this stuff that people walk around, whenever you make up a religion, it's different. And then they talk about, so the first thing they do, they try to call you a cult, or they say that, that you're an idolater, or this, that, and the other thing. But guess what? All of the netters, all of the deities and the gods in ancient Egypt and Kemetic spirituality and science, they're nothing but aspects of you, showing what the different aspects of your humanity are, showing what the different aspects of your sojourn through the earth, and what you are, number one, what you are capable of doing, and number two, what your nature is as a human being. All right. So when you look at all of these different things, people try to make it seem like, this is evil or whatever. It's not evil. All it is saying, okay, you have certain aspects of your life that coincide with certain other things. So yes, and all of the different things. So good and evil, whatever you want to say, up, down, you have opposites in every single aspect of your life. All right, you have, and everything is going towards what? Towards mayat, or balance. And if you live like that, it's just saying have balance. It's not saying that one thing is right or wrong. And that's the thing I think that people don't get, because we've been indoctrinated into Western society and into white supremacist Christianity. We have looked at things from the standpoint of there's always sin and or bad or evil or whatever. But that's not really true, because most people, that's not their nature. I mean, when you look at everybody that's out there, most people are inherently good. And that shows you that, because if not, then instead of having, like a handful of evil people, we would have like millions of evil people. But most people don't go around doing evil stuff. Most people don't. The majority of people, the people that you hear about on television and on the news, the reason why they're on the television and on the news, because they're basically what? They're the exception to the rule. All right. So it's not true that everybody's walking around a whole bunch of evil, maniacal, diabolical sinners. It's not. It's just not true. Because if it were, we would have what? Anarchy, right? We would just have people running around doing all kinds of just crazy stuff. But we really don't have that. There is a certain amount, just because of your because of your human nature. Your human nature is basically to be good, or to try to keep things balanced. And so Mayat, looking at it from the standpoint of Mayat, those 42 negative confessions, they just basically, and it's not to say that's the the end all do all, but the bottom line is that those are the things that you are capable of doing if left to your own devices, and not, and they're also the things that you are capable of achieving. All right. So it's balance. Everything in Kemetic spirituality is about balance. It has nothing to do. And if you're out of, every now and then, everybody gets out of balance. The same thing with your vibrations. You vibrate at different levels at different times. So you're not always going to vibrate at, you're not always going to vibrate at a high level. Sometimes you're going to vibrate at a lower level. Your energy, especially in your chakra, all your chakra energies, they transform, they change constantly, and that's part of what makes you ebb and flow. And when I say ebb and flow, that's why also the study of all of the things that are in the stars and in nature and all of that. Why? Because our bodies, our minds, our spirits, everything is affected by what goes on in the universe. That's why we have the concept of universal oneness. Everything is all involved. So when these people put together a plan or an agenda, just like, why do you think they keep showing you, or why do you think they keep killing all of these black people and this, that, and the other thing? Because it's to make you into a mindset. It's to depress you and make you sad and make you feel a certain way. And they realize that. Okay, so even we had this whole controversy about President Trump talking about lynching. Saying he felt like the impeachment process was a lynching. Well, why do you think they lynched people? They lynched people because then they could show the results. This is what will happen to you if you do this. This is what will happen to you if you don't do what we say, or whatever. It is nothing but mind control. It's a way to control your mind and to keep you docile and to keep you from realizing the real truth about yourself, which is that you are God. All right. And people want to, you are a generator, operator, destroyer, generator, operator, destroyer. You have the ability, and I tell people this all the time, you have the ability to do everything that the Most High can do. The only thing that you cannot do is that you cannot create a planet, or you can't create a universe. I guess you could create a little planet, but I'm saying, but like a Earth, a Mars, a Venus, all of those, you can't create a planet, but everything that's within the planet you can create. So, and you have to use the resources of the Most High, of the Creator God, in order for you to do anything, to manifest anything within the Earth realm. Now you can manifest stuff in your other consciousness. You can manifest whatever you want in your other consciousnesses. You can go, just like when you're dreaming, when you're meditating, when you're praying, all of these things, you can manifest things in those other altered states of consciousness. You can do it, but you can't create, like I said, like a planet or a universe. All right. So that's how we know that we have the Most High is a step above us, but it's basically like the concept King of Kings, Lord of Lords. He's a God of gods, If I can get, can I say that? Yeah, got it. But you get it. You get what I'm saying. So and they, the colonizers and the white supremacists, they understood that concept. And that's why they're able to create so much stuff, because they're not sitting around waiting on a savior or waiting on anything else. They're manifesting. They're out there actually doing the manifestation and doing, the principle of what work, you know. And so they look at all of that stuff and they're like, so that's why they put very little umption into faith and all those things, because if you go out there and you work it, and you have the, once again, right wisdom, right knowledge, I should say right knowledge, get the right knowledge and then use the right wisdom, you can make anything, you can build anything. And we do it more than they do. I mean, look at all the inventions, cell phones, internet, you know, microcircuitry. All of these things were invented by Africans. The African, and descendants of Africans. None of it was created, by who you think it is. All they did was, after we created it, they stole it and make money off of it. There's a big difference. So know the agenda. So the agenda is to depopulate you and to emasculate the man and to take your power. Okay, because if I take your power and I tell you, oh, don't, just like the whole thing with witchcraft, everybody's like, oh, but any type of manipulation is witchcraft. The whole Christian religion basically is witchcraft. You're, even when you take Holy Communion, you're reinforcing the curse of the firstborn of Israel, which ain't y'all, by the way. all these Hebrew Israelites running around here, look, y'all, it's not y'all. All right, and all that thing about, and I want to do a post about, there are no chosen people, because the universal laws apply to everybody equally, no matter, because if they didn't, then how come Europeans, how come the colonizers, the European colonizers were able to take over everything? Because they used the principles, the universal laws. They used the universal laws. They used the Kemetic spirituality, and that's how they were able to take everything over. They weren't able to take everything over because they came up with something new or whatever. They just used what they knew and then put a little twist on it by adding the evil part to it. So they added evil, and they just added more evil. That's how they were able to take over all the indigenous races of the world, because they put evil onto the universal laws. And if you study it out, and you'll see that what I'm saying is true. It's not, and I'm not sitting up here, I'm not an evil person. I got family, I got all this stuff. I love everybody. I'm not against, anybody. Really, I'm not. But the thing is that you also have to realize that we have to be able to look at these things and accept them for what they are. If you're not using the universal laws, if you're not using your chakra energy, if you're not using your abilities spiritually, then you are a slave. It's simple as that. And no matter if you have on shackles or if it's just in your head, you're still a slave. And that's basically what they've done. So they created a spell. They created incantations. They created witchcraft against you in order to control you. And that's all that is. So every time, it's basically lynching, same thing. Let's go back to lynching again. Lynching is nothing but what? Sacrifice. It's human sacrifice. That's what they're doing. The same thing. And I got one that was a bombshell about when Katrina hit New Orleans. And it was just like, they used a lot of those people as human sacrifices. So think about it, in order so that they could stay in power and in control. And I'm not telling you to go and sacrifice people, but I'm just telling you that evil people do stuff like that. And all these children and women that are coming up missing and all of that kind of stuff. I mean, why is it all, we got over, I think I read the article was like 6,800 missing African or descendant African women and little girls that are just missing. And nobody's looking for them, and nobody really knows what happened to them. And then we got, all kinds of people running around free and this, that, and the other thing. So pay attention. But they want to depopulate you. They want to take away your power. And that's what it's all about. That's the plan they have for you. So now what's the plan that you have for yourself? is the more important question. Anyway, gotta go. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the everything button, hit the love button most of all.